Before we get into the review of the Athearn Genesis 2.0 SD80MAC, here is a brief history of this locomotive. The EMD SD80MAC was built in 1995 to 1996. This locomotive features a 20-cylinder prime mover that was previously used in the SD45 and SD45-2 and later SD90MAC models. 28 of the locomotives were ordered by Conrail, and they were built and tested at Conrail's Juniata shops in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Later on, Conrail bought the two demonstrator units. Chicago and Northwestern and Canadian Pacific were intended to buy the locomotive, but Chicago and Northwestern merged with the Union Pacific system in 1995, and the CP went on to buy the SD90MAC version. After the split in 1997, 17 went to NS and 13 were sent to CSX. In 2014, Norfolk Southern traded 12 SD40-2s, former Conrail units, for the 12 SD80s remaining. One was tragically scrapped in an accident in 2009, and CSX used it for parts. In 2020, all 29 units were sold to Progress Rail and Canadian Pacific. 6 of these were sold to CP for part sources for the new Canadian Pacific ACU project, and the rest are at Progressive Rail, more than likely to meet the end, and more than likely are going to be scrapped. Hey guys, NS Productions 8104 here, and well, today we're going to do a review of my brand new Athearn Genesis 2.0 SD80MAC. Number 7228, the last SD80MAC that they had on their roster. Okay, so we're going to start off with some of the details here. So here on the front, oh my god, this thing is beautiful. Here on the front, you got MU cables here, and on the other side the plow, you got a nice snow plow. Simply apply to Athearn line. McHenry knuckle coupler, which I'll probably be replacing, but it does have the lower shelf. So I'm planning on replacing this with the scale train coupler, because it also has the lower shelf. So you got your ditch lights here, you got your uncoupling lever, MU cable, you got your receptacles. There's that on here. Alright, yeah, see you got your MU receptacle there. Up to the top of the anti-climber here. So you got your grab irons going across with the painted yellow ends. Going up the cab, you got separately applied grab iron here. And a separately applied grab irons going up the nose here. Blanked out marker lights, prototypical to Norfolk Southern. You got your door here, warning label with your window for your door. Up on the top of the cab here, you got your separately applied windshield wipers, which there are 6 of these. 2 more separately applied grab irons here on the top of the cab. You got more across the nose. You got separately applied sand filler hatches. We're going to take it to the engineer side here. Here on the engineer side, there's a lot of stuff going on here. You got your nice HTCR trucks, I think these are called. Yeah, HTCR trucks. These are the same kind of trucks that are found on the SD70s, right here. So you got see-through, separately applied mesh saddle steps. You got the separation line for the insulated cab on the nose there. There's another one of the grab irons on the nose. You got your mirror here. You got no sun visor. You got your you got your mirrors here. You got your number here with your locomotive designation. This says does it say SD80? Yeah, SD80MAC. Beautiful like I said, HTCR trucks. Underneath you got some nice sanding lines and traction motor cabling and all that good stuff. Oh wow, I just noticed that. Looks like you got some air filters there. You got your bell mounted right here. You got your air tanks, reservoirs here and here with some warning labels on them. You got nicely painted fuel gauge and other sort of details. Up on the long hood, we got nicely molded in doors, separately with separately applied. No, oh yeah, lift rings. I know there's some around here. Hold on. Huh. Oh yeah, there they are. Got, wait. I think my model's missing some lift rings. That's another tick for Athearn. This is supposed to be their 2.0 line, and I haven't had any problems. Aesthetics, besides the missing lift rings, have been great. And I'll show you the other thing when we get into operations. But you got your nice Norfolk Southern logo here, your nice horn. Let's tip this thing up real quick. That's at the top of the cab here. You got your simply applied antennas and all this. This unit is an ex-Norfolk CSX unit. These Athearn Genesis SD80MACs do come with the removable caps, so we'll take a peek in there. You got your nice cab interior, and if you guys are wondering how it's held on, there's two magnets right there, right here and here, and you got some on the bottom of your roof here, and they simply they're nice and strong too, so that's good. You got a see-through. You got your see-through exhaust here, another vent. Coming to the rear, to the radiator section, you got your nice large radiator, this was a somewhat new feature for these locomotives. I think the only other model that featured this at the time was the SD70M with the flared radiators and the 75s. So, relatively new feature compared to today, which almost all new EMDs, mainline road diesels, have the flared radiator. Up top, you got your 3 cooling fans. You got your dynamic brakes back here with your dynamic brake fan. I think that's a see-through grate back there. Yeah, see-through grate. You got nicely molded in grates here, more detailing, more warning labels, all that nice stuff. On the back, you got your rear headlight and number boards. Oh, I forgot to mention, the number boards on the front are lit too. So yeah, front and rear lit number boards, marked out, blanked out marker lights. You got your rear headlight. Looks like you got a sandbox. I think this is what this is right back here, because you got your sand filler, and you got your sand filler hatch here. Onto the conductor side, you got your same grill detail back here, vents, logo, fuel tank details. You're missing the bell on this. The bell is located on the engineer's side. Get nice trucks, get sand filler, the sanding lines and all that on all trucks. Back here, you got your nice details, more grab irons, a recessed grab iron right here, another one up top here, more grills. This is pretty cool. They actually molded this onto the this protection bar right here. They actually molded it onto the handrails. You got handrails. You got some simply applied painted grab irons back there and all that. See-through walkway right here. Probably see the shadow underneath. Coming back on the conductor side of the cab here. Normal stuff. Battery boxes and all that stuff. You got your steel stripe and all that. Well, it's a nice model. I really do like it. I'm glad I bought it. Got a couple nitpicks with it, but it's a really nice model. So, I'll see you in the next clip where we're running this thing, doing some test runs on it. Alright, here's the operations of the locomotive. Let me put it on the track. As soon as you put it on the track, your prime mover starts up. It is normal Tsunami 2 features. This is equipped with a dual sugar cube speaker. Alright, so we'll do the headlight. I hit the horn button instead, but yeah, there's the horn. Here's the bell. Headlight. Number boards. Ditch lights. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, those ditch lights are very dim, because Athearn Genesis, they opted for light piping here instead of actual surface mounts. So I don't know if you guys can see, but we do have truck lighting. Oh yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, so there is truck lighting. These are all factory feature. These are all factory settings. I haven't touched any of the factory settings, and if I did, I reverted them. The only thing I changed on the decoder was the address, which I just addressed it to the right locomotive. Alright, so here's the horn again. Nice horn, I like it. Alright, so let's move it out. Here's speed step 1. Very smooth, actually. Somewhat smooth, actually. For being at step 1, I haven't broken this engine in. Step 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, we're going to go in reverse. Step 1. 2. 3, 4, and 5. The ditch lights do flash when the horn is blown, like every other Norfolk Southern engine that there ever is and what was and will be. I probably will be replacing those with surface mounts, because I'm not a huge fan of how dull those are. This thing is a heavy puller. Believe it or not, I did a simple test earlier because I was curious. And sure enough, this thing can outpull a Scale-Train ZS44. And if you think I'm kidding, well, I'm not. It's insane. This is an SD80MAC. This was the longest single-axle locomotive ever produced. Well, not single axle, but single engine frame locomotive that was ever produced. Besides the DD40AX. So, it's either the second or the second long. No, this and the SD90 are about the same length. But, this is a very nice engine. Well detailed. Well done, Athearn. But, come on, guys. Those need to be brighter. When you drop almost $300 for an engine, you expect ditch lights to be bright, not dull and dim. And yes, I have gone through the CVs of the lighting functions. Those are the brightest they get, which is a disappointment, honestly. When you buy a new locomotive for around $300, you do not expect dull, dim ditch lights. Here. Let's match it up. I paid about the same kind of price tag on these two models here. This model was $288 off of trainworld.com. This locomotive was $299.99. I think this is $288.87 from Scaletrains.com, and look at those headlight and ditch lights. Those are bright. This is how a model's supposed to look. Not this, Athearn. Not this. Dull. The camera makes them look a lot brighter than what they are. They're very dim. When you drop almost $300 for a locomotive, you want this kind of stuff is unacceptable. Unlike the Scale-Trains, it does have the movable roof, which I think is a cool feature. But unacceptable, Athearn. This needs to be brighter. I don't bash Athearn a lot, because they do a nice job. I own multiple of their Genesis line. I own 3 other Genesis line models, and I'm planning on getting more, especially with the SD70 ECUs, the patched out NS90 Max. So, plus a couple other ones. I need to get a couple more 60Es in standard black. I want to get, hopefully they'll redo a run of Aces in NS black. I want to get a couple of those, because those are nice models too. But, I'm sorry, this is just unacceptable. I should not have to take a brand new model, put it on my workbench, and put new LEDs in, because the factory LEDs are so dim they can't even light up the track. So, I don't know what to say. Besides the dim ditch lights, this is an awesome model. I highly recommend you guys go out and buy it, especially if you are modeling Norfolk Southern, CSX, Conrail, that kind of stuff. Because these are nice models. They're accurate. But the fact that the ditch lights are extremely dim, come on. I do like this model. I'm not going to get rid of this thing anytime soon. This thing is great. I will be upgrading the ditch lights eventually, but for now, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. This is a heavy hauler, so if you are needing helpers or a helper, this is your guy. This guy can literally pull one of these scale trains around like it's nothing, and this guy is... And both of these engines were running. I tested with the 3194 back there in the back. These were both running in opposite directions, so it's not like this guy was sitting idle and this guy was just moving. They were both moving, and this guy was dragging this. That's insane. Because beforehand, these are your number one pullers. These are your heavy haulers. Now I have a new king of the rails. Alright, so in the next clip, we'll put this guy behind the consist, and we'll see it do some hot laps on the layout.